Welcome to another session of Ebenezer GATE coaching classes. This is a problem which appeared in GATE 2023. It is a multiple choice question for 1 mark. The open loop transfer function of a unity negative feedback system is g of s equal to k by s into 1 plus st1 into 1 plus st2, where k, t1 and t2 are positive constants. The phase crossover frequency in radians per second is. Let us solve this problem. Now, what is the phase crossover frequency? Phase crossover frequency, let's call it WPC, is actually the frequency at which the angle of g of j omega is 180 degree. Now let us find what is g of j omega. G of j omega can be obtained by replacing s by j omega. So you will get k divided by j omega times 1 plus j omega t1 1 plus j omega t2. So the angle of g of j omega is, numerator k is a positive constant, so its angle is 0. Angle of the numerator minus angle of the denominator. Okay, so what is the angle of the numerator? Angle of the numerator is 0. Angle of the denominator is angle of j omega. So minus angle of j omega minus angle of 1 plus j omega t1 minus angle of 1 plus j omega t2. Angle of j omega is obviously 90, so minus 90 degree, minus angle of 1 plus j omega t1 is tan inverse of imaginary part by real part. So tan inverse of omega t1 minus tan inverse of omega t2. Now we know that tan inverse of a minus plus tan inverse of b is tan inverse of a plus b . Let me write this like this. Angle of g of j omega is 90 minus tan inverse omega t1 plus tan inverse omega t2. Tan inverse of omega t1 plus tan inverse of omega t2. Tan inverse of a plus tan inverse of b is tan inverse of a plus b by 1 minus ab. Tan inverse of minus 90. Omega t1 plus omega t2 by 1 minus omega t1 times omega t2. This is minus 90 minus tan inverse of omega t1 plus omega t2 by 1 minus omega squared t1 t2. Now this angle of j omega should be 180 at the phase crossover frequency should be minus 180 or plus 180. Here we take it as minus 180 because this angle is a negative angle. So this is equal to minus 90 minus tan inverse of omega t1 plus omega t2 by 1 minus omega squared t1 t2. Now, so minus 180 is equal to this. So this simplifies to tan inverse of omega t1 plus tan inverse of plus omega t2 divided by 1 minus omega squared t1 t2 is equal to 90 degree, or tan 90 equal to omega t1 plus omega t2 by 1 minus omega squared t1 t2. And tan 90 is a very large number, is very much greater than 1. That means omega squared t1 t2 is a small number or is equal to 0. So at the phase crossover frequency, omega squared t1 t2 is 0. So at omega phase crossover, 1 minus omega squared t1 t2 is equal to 0, or omega squared t1 t2 is equal to 1, or omega squared is equal to 1 by t1 t2, or omega is equal to 1 by root t1 t2. So the phase crossover frequency in this case is 1 by root t1 t2. Let us see the option. The option is A, 1 by root t1 t2. Thank you. God bless you.